Hey everybody. First of all, take a look at this. I have my little image in the bottom over. Oh, shoot, I can't really hover over it. I have a little image in the bottom over there. Did some research from yesterday's videos. Ready? You ready for it? Boom. I can click. It's floating above. This is how it's going to be, right? As we're going, we're week 3 of distance learning. I finally figured out how to do image in image. It's, it's pretty cool. I don't, maybe you don't really care to be looking at my face during this, but it's going to be there anyways. So you're just going to have to deal with it. Sorry about that. So what are we even doing in this video? We just did 2 while loops for some nested while loops for multiplication table and for some dice. And I figured for those of us that like for loops more, or even for those of us that don't like for loops that much, maybe you'll start to like them more as you start seeing this. So I'm going to redo, this video is going to be us redoing the multiplication table, but for using a for loop, 2 nested for loops. Let's jump into it. And yes, so like making a multiplication table with nested for loops. Okay, so it's going to be kind of similar, except it's a little bit cleaner, as for loops always are. Sorry, I'm kind of scattered right now. Let's just jump to it. So I'm going to start with, you don't need any counters, right? Number 1, for loops are cleaner. Number 2, like your counters are all going to be built into your for loops themselves. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to even need a reset because the for loop inside is going to reset automatically, which is kind of cool, the second for loop. So I'm going to say for. I was calling these A and B before, so I'll call them A and B again. No, you know what? You usually use I and J. That's just how you do. So in the past, recently we've been using for loops with like for item in and then like a list. But I'm going to say for I, and this time to be able to get some kind of like counter thing that happens in your for loops, you're going to start having to use this in range. And so I'm going to say for I in range from 1, because I don't care about my 0 times tables. Those are too easy. 1's probably too easy too, but they always keep them there. From 1 to, and we'll say 5. And don't forget that this is exclusive. It does not include the 5. For I in range, 1 through 5. And then I'm going to go inside of that first for loop and make a for j in range. And we're going to do from 1 to 4. Why not? And by the way, like that's it. The for loop just kind of works. We'll go through it step by step. Shoot, I didn't put my other camera up. All right, we're just going to go through step by step on the computer. It'll be fine. For j in range, 1 through 4. And from here, I can just print out I times j. That's going to be it. Let's do this inside of a thing over there. Let's make our end be equal to 3 spaces, right? If this is confusing to you, maybe you should go check out that old while loop video that describes it in more detail. I'm not going to do that here. And then when I'm outside of my j loop, the second loop, I just got to make sure I do a print blank. And I'm pretty sure that should do it. Like, look at how clean this is. No counter variables, no resetting, no stepping in the counter. The for loop does it all by itself. Bada boom. There's my table, right? There's my times table. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 12. And we even got a little bit of the 4 times table there. And just to make it bigger, I can just extend this, right? I can say, all right, instead of 5, I'm going to go up to 13 rows. And I'll go to 9, not 49, 9 columns. And boom. It does it. We just got to do this this little cleaning up because it doesn't look that good. But you know what? Let's go back to our little 4x3 table and take the time just to go step by step to see exactly what's going on. All right, maybe I will connect the presenter because I don't want to do this with that crappy paint thing. Sorry, you're going to see some of the background of this. But let's get to it. First of all, I just want to take that out, eject that flash drive, because air is the only thing is they need more USB ports. Plug this guy in, bada boom. Let's keep going here. turn on the presenter app. And that didn't take that long. That wasn't that painful, right? Boom. Okay, we got this. Good to go. Okay. We don't even need that yet, but we have it there, ready to go when we do need it. Okay. So we've got... Oh, wait. This is what I'm going to do. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Go over here. We got like images and images here, guys. Here's my dice. Hey. Oh, it's going slow. All right, it's okay. It'll be a little laggy. So we have our I variable, and we've got our J variable. And let's just start running through it. So for I in range 1 through 5, that's going to start I out as a value of 1. And then, all right, from there, we go... Oh, shoot, now I can't click because this is not floating above. Can I make this float above? Let me do it. Let's do it. No, bring to front. So can I click here? That's not doing it. All right, well, I just won't be able to click. We're all okay with that, right? So, for J in range 1 through 4, my J is going to start at 1 as well. And then we print I times J. Well, 1 times 1 is equal to 1, so we print that 1 there. We end with 3 spaces. We get to the end of this loop, pop back up. We haven't been through this entire list yet, so I'm going to go to, from J at 1, J is going to now go to 2. My handwriting is not even that much better on paper, is it? And then we print I times J again. 1 times 2 is going to get me 2. I print that, spaces of 3. I loop again to line 4. J was at 1, it was at 2, now it's going to become 3. And then inside my J loop, I print 1 times 3, right? I times J. So I print 3 up over here in the output. I end with 3 spaces, so there are 3 spaces hanging out over here. But then I loop back up over here. J has been through the entire range. You don't go to that last number. It is exclusive. I'm saying I'm going from 1. Starting at 1, I'm going to be 1, but I won't get to 4. I'll get to 3, and then I'm done. So now it skips past line 5, goes to line 6, hits a blank print. This blank print says, oh, we're going to go to the next line. Hit enter on the next line. We're now back at line 3 because we're at the end of the I loop. On line 3, I was already 1. So it goes to the next integer in that range. It's going to switch to 2. And I hope you can see after that this will loop between, right? This is going to get reset because I'm hitting line 4 again. It's a for loop. So it's going to say, oh, well, I'm going to do a new, J is going to be 1 again, and we'll go through it again. We'll do 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9, etc., etc. That is it, right? Once you understand it all the way, for loops, I can completely agree, are so much cleaner. And look at that, 4 lines to make this. And I can, again, just by changing these, make my multiplication table in its entirety, right? Other than, oh, let's fix that. Let me finish my point, and then we'll fix that. I can make, my multiplication table in its entirety with just 4 lines, which is pretty rad, right? My while loops needed all these different variables named and counters and a reset. But I find it instructive to learn how the while loop works first, because you really see the mechanics of it all. And then once you understand it really well, your for loops just work, and they're pretty beautiful. Let's end this video out just by making this look better. And we'll even go one step further than the while loop video, right? Because if I put this over to like 20 like we had before, it starts looking even grosser because I've got 3-digit numbers. So we're going to say if I times J, and we'll put that in parentheses, is less than 10, we're going to do this with the 3 spaces. I'm going to put 4 spaces just because as the numbers start getting bigger, you're going to want more space between them so that I can, and yeah, whatever. I'm going to put 4 spaces. Space is out a little nicer. I can show you an example once you do the rest. Let me stop talking. And then I'm going to say elif I times J is less than, well, all right, let's get crazy. I'll say greater than or equal to 10, and I times j is less than 100. So this is going to be all of my 2-digit numbers. Now, with the way if statements work, I really don't need this first part, because if it didn't go into this first if on line 5, I know that it must be bigger than 10, so I really don't need that. But just to be really clear that these are all my 2-digit numbers. When I times j is greater than 10 and also less than 100, it's a 2-digit number, right? I will then do the exact same print statement, just with one less space. And then we're going to make one last else that says if it's a 3-digit number, and since, this is 1 digits only, 2 digits only, I just have an else, it's fine. The 3 digits is going to be the same thing, just 2 less spaces. And watch this beautiful piece of artwork come to life before our eyes as I hit run over here. Oh my goodness, it's just beautiful, amazing, right? And here I'll just talk about why I wanted the spacing to be 4 before. If I have it at 4 now, that means I have space to go back 1 space and then another space and still have spaces between them. If I started this at from 4 down to 2, then this was default 2. It can only go down to 1. And then this was default 2. If I have to go 2 spaces back, it goes down to 0. And then I get things that are all clumped up together, especially on the bottom here. It's really hard to see. And similarly, if I started at 3 here, this starts at 3, it has to go down to 2. This starts at 3, it has to go down to 1. It will work, but it'll be a little tight. I don't like that quite as much. I'm just nitpicking at this point. But that's why I chose that 4, in case you were wondering. That's why I did it. I kind of like this being a little more spaced out. Yeah, I think I've just been like blathering for a couple minutes at the end of this video. This is your nested for loop. We did the ifs to make it so that the rows are nice and beautiful, the columns are nice and beautiful and lined up. But ultimately, the real thing was just, all these if and else's are just to make it look prettier. The real thing, the core of what we're learning here was just these 4 lines to do your nested loops, right? An I loop, a J loop, doing the thing inside the J loop, and then a print to go to the next line after I exit the J loop. It does everything the while loops do, just without all the counters and stuff like that. It's all hidden inside of the for loop magic. Yeah, that's it.